Quick review, 8.1 out of 10. Well, I wasn't too impressed with the last card game that I reviewed, so I'm trying again. NEOVERSE is a turn-based deck building game that can best be described as Slay the Spire, the 3D anime experience. My first impressions of the game were that it appears to be an overcomplicated 3D clone, but after spending a few hours diving into it, the game's new and interesting mechanics start to really pop forward. One of those very satisfying mechanics is the constant availability of a shop. Wherever you are, you have access to items and cards that you might need, even in the middle of a fight. It starts to feel like a second inventory where you can pool resources from in times of trouble. If you're not satisfied with the current selection, you can even pay to rotate new cards and items in for an ever-increasing fee. Honestly, this is what I've always wanted from a card building game, and I never knew it, until I saw it in action. Progressing through the game is a much more streamlined version than any other game of this type. You have no control over how you get through the overworld per se, it's just a linear set of fights and then you make it to the end. However, the types of fights and their difficulty and the rewards that they give you are completely up to you. These rewards are given to you when you complete an ever-stacking pile of quests that each fight provides. Maybe you like one of these quest rewards, but you know you're actually unable to accomplish it at this moment. No problem, they are permanent, and you can complete them during another battle. That is innovative, and I haven't seen anything else like that before. I found myself thinking that a lot while playing this game. There are a ton of these great mechanics that are new to me and feel really well done and polished. The upgrade skill tree is a perfect example of this. As you gain skill points from defeating monsters and fights, you can unlock helpful add-ons for your character, allowing you to customize and make a playthrough that is better suited to what you want. This is one of my favorite things in a game, being able to make something your own. It makes me feel more invested in the game, having these small choices which allow me to spend my resources in a way I desire, and that's what I think really draws in a player. One of my only gripes about the game is that the art style does feel a little out of place to me. A card and deck building game is normally formed around a painterly or hand-drawn look. References to games like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon are what I think of when this topic comes up. Seeing it in a 3D environment with fully rendered models is a little at odds in my mind with the idea of a deck building game. Also, the overall story seems a bit convoluted to me, although I can't say that Slay the Spire story is exactly written in golden letters and fine print either, so here we are. There are a number of characters you can have with various movesets and combinations. I was a fan of the first character myself and beat the game with the radiation mechanic, which is just a damage over time poison, similar to Slay the Spire, but the stacks dropping in half each attack instead of minusing one, making it a little bit more challenging to go crazy with. However, the lifesteal character is also a lot of fun to play with and makes some fights a little closer than I would have preferred, but it's very swingy, which is fun in itself. NEOVERSE, I think, is one of those sneaky games that just barely comes onto a few people's radars and then disappears without much fanfare. I think the game is well worth your time. If you've been looking for something to satisfy that card building deck itch, this is your game. It's priced fairly well at standard level, but with the Steam Winter Sale going on, I think it's a great value and I highly suggest looking at it. So, if you've had a happy holiday season, tickle that like button. If you didn't, might I suggest going for a light run and having a coffee. That always makes me feel better. Toodles.